Hey, what's happening? Ben Franklin with Nomad Trading. Just kidding, guys. It's only Tim flexing the Benjis on you. I hope you forgive me. I was just counting my piles of money a minute ago. Anyway, you want to make millions of dollars trading the stock market, right? That's why you're here. That's why you're watching this video. You want to be a millionaire trader? Well, you can. The first step is hitting that thumbs up, commenting down below, subscribing if you haven't already. What are you doing? Only like 4% of people that watch my videos are subscribed. So Nomad Nation could be much stronger. You can trust me because, for one thing, I'm wearing a tie. And people that wear ties are financial gurus. I mean, you can trust people that wear ties. If they wear ties, then they're in business. They're in the stock markets. They know stuff. I know stuff. I'm wearing a tie. I also have tons of money, as you can see right here. There's some money. So you need more proof that you can trust my pattern that I'm about to show you. How about, let's see, I got a picture of me. There's a picture of me in my car. Let me jump over here to the screen. There you go. Okay. That's a picture of me right there in my car. Getting ready to drive out of my garage down there by the ocean. You can trust me. That's the bottom line. You guys can trust me. I have amazing stock patterns, and I'm gonna make you a millionaire 100% for sure. All you gotta do is follow this pattern. In all seriousness, okay, disclaimer, maybe I don't know what I'm talking about. Maybe I'm just some guy on YouTube and I don't know anything about stock trading. That might be the case. Don't listen to anything I say. I'm just some guy on YouTube. Disclaimer. But back to my patterns, okay? This pattern in real life here, okay, this actually did change my stock journey from being a terrible trader and losing like 50 grand the first couple of years to being just barely profitable now. So I feel like I'm on the right track. Real talk, this is a good pattern, and it is the pattern that has got me over the edge towards being profitable. It's the one that I focus on most of the time, my favorite pattern. I made a video about it the other day, my favorite pattern. And I'm going to show you how you can find this pattern in almost any of the momentum stocks. It's just about waiting until the right time. You do have to be patient. You got to wait till the stock pattern develops and then hit it at the right time. So what is that pattern? It's the bullish pennant. And I'm going to show you examples of it in multiple stocks. And these are not just like planned out over the last month. I've grabbed these examples. These are real examples that I just clicked on a few stocks today to make this video and found the pattern. And it's really just about being patient and taking the trades. So let's check it out. First of all, we have Unicorn, GLSI. I went live today and talked about this unicorn. Why? Because you have to document a stock when it does something like going from $5 to $158. That's insanity. The possibilities with this stock are endless. If you want to know if you can become a millionaire in the stock market, all you have to do is look at a stock like this and you will know that that is possible. It is true. And besides that, I have a tie on. So what you're going to look for is a flagpole right here. And then you're going to look for a pennant, which is basically just consolidation that gets tighter and tighter and tighter and tighter until it's got to go one direction or the other. You don't want to take the trade in here in the pennant. You want to take the trade when it breaks out to the upside. That's when you go long. And we can talk about conservative versus aggressive price targets for it. So a conservative price target would be just getting out at high of day, the previous high of day, because the odds are when this pattern plays out and you get your pennant here and it breaks out, it's probably going to go to test the high of day. You can just get out then because it could get rejected and come back down, or you could take partial profit there and then hold the rest on up. In this example, yeah, you would have been looking at getting in around 28, and the high of day is around 37 or so. So a pretty good $9 share profit. Then you can hold part of it, or if you're really aggressive or slash stupid, you could hold it the entire way up. I would never do that. I'm never gonna hold the whole way up in a unicorn. It's not gonna happen because yeah, I don't have the cojones to do that. I'm gonna get out at some point conservatively with profit, and then maybe take another trade at some point. But in this case, no. Too many halts, too much risk. You never know after the halt if it's going to go up or down, considering what happened here. A perfect example. Let's say you buy up here at 150 because you're kind of out of your mind. So you think this is going 200 bucks. It's going from 5 to 200. So you're a little out of your mind. You take the trade. You chase it up here at 150, and then what happens? It gets halted, and before you know it, it gets the halt is opening down here at $100. You lost $50 a share. Wow, who knew that could happen? And then if you didn't get out super fast, it got halted again and opened down here in the 40s. Okay, now you've bought it for $150 some a share, and magically in a matter of minutes you've lost $100 a share. That's a major problem, and that is why these halt plays are scary. But we do have to document them and talk about them because they're unicorns. If by some miracle you did get in and then hold it all the way up, or by some miracle you were already holding it because you knew that the phase 2B study trial data was coming out today, so you already bought it, so you're holding it from like $5, and then hey, you're gonna hold it all the way up here. That's crazy, but it could happen. If it did happen, you're awesome, and you have to comment below. Make sure if you like any of this content, you hit the thumbs up, you comment, tell me you like my tie, whatever. Make sure you subscribe if you haven't already, because you want to see more awesome content like this. Let's be honest. Anyway, so this pattern works. It's awesome. It's bullish. It's what has turned my profitability around because of discipline. I don't just trade all willy-nilly, buying up here out of the halt and hoping that it goes higher. No, I'm looking for an actual pattern so that I have a higher odds play. This is a decent odds setup. You're looking for a flag pull, then you're looking for a pennant, then you're looking to go long when it breaks above the pennant. Let's look at, well, actually first, let's look at the possibilities with the stock, because I did promise you could become a millionaire. So here's a scenario. Let's say you had, this is, by the way, not a scenario that I would ever actually do, but you could do it if you were crazy and if you had a stack of money to where losing 10 grand or 20 grand was no big deal to you. Then you could do this. You could put 10 grand in CMEG account, and you're going to get 6-to-1 leverage, I believe. Let's see, let me pull this over here just to show you I'm not crazy. With CMEG buying power, if you have account over 2,500 in the active day trading account, as you can see, your leverage schedule, you're going to have 6 times starting cash. So you have 6 times leverage with an account over 2,500 bucks. Now, let's say that you're crazy and you're going to put, you got 10 grand in your account and you're going to use all your buying power, your $60,000 of buying power, because you have 6 times leverage on that account, and you're going to go all in the stock because you're basically just crazy and you want to take an insane risk. So you do that. So you got 10 grand, 6 times leverage, you got 60 grand. Let's say you buy the breakout of that bull pennant right here. Let's say you buy at 29. Whoops. You buy at 29. You're going to have 2,068 shares. So let's just call it 2,000 shares. Then let's say that you're going to hold it until the first major pullback. Now this is some consolidation. I would have got out here, but you're a crazy risk taker. So you're trading all in with your 60 grand buying power, right? So you're not going to get out there. You're going to keep holding. So you hold through several halts, and you get all the way up here, and the stock out of this halt opens and starts dropping. Now you panic. Now you get out. So you're getting out, let's say you get out in the middle of that red candle at 118, and you bought at 29. 118, minus 29 where you got in, you got a profit of $89 per share, and you have 2,000 shares. You just made $178,000 on your $10,000 cash risk. You risk well, you have leverage, but your $10,000 account, that's all the money that you actually put in there, and you made $178,000. Now, is that going to happen to you? No, it's not going to happen unless you're crazy and you're going all in on your trades, which I would not recommend, and you're holding way longer than you should, which I would also not recommend. But it is possible. You could make $178,000 on a $10,000 account. And as long as we're looking at possibilities, let's say that you put $10,000 in the stock yesterday at $5. So you went ahead and used all your leverage, your buying power, because you're really crazy. So you used your $60,000 to buy the stock at $5 all in, because you just know that this phase 2B trial is going to be awesome. It's going to be, you know, the best trial day ever. This thing's going to the moon, and you already know that the float is 1.5 million shares, so it's going to the moon for sure. You saw it on StockTwits and you knew it, so you bought it with all your money. So you got 12,000 shares, and then you're amazing. So you went ahead and held it all the way till $150 because you knew it was going $150. Somebody on StockTwits told you that. So yeah. You sold it at $150 a share. You made $1.8 million because you bought it yesterday knowing the phase 2B study was coming out, and you held it all the way to $150 a share. Now that is amazing. Of course, you probably have a better chance of actually winning the lottery, the Powerball, but we're going to disregard that for now because I did promise you can become a millionaire in the stock market, which you can. You can actually become a millionaire in the stock market. And many people really do it. This example is ludicrous, but people do it. Anyway, I just thought I would show that just because I want to illustrate how insane this unicorn stock is that goes from $5 to $158. Absolutely crazy. Realistically, you could make quite a bit of money on it. Let's say that you actually did. Let's do a realistic example here. What I would do, so it's realistic. Let's say that you had a CMEG account with $5,000 and you had your 6 times buying power, and you put half of that. So you're at, if you're following me here, you got a $5,000 account at CMEG, you got 6 times buying power, $30,000, and you're gonna use half of that buying power, 15,000, which is one of my hot buttons on CMEG is half my buying power. So let's say you use half your buying power. Still pretty risky on a stock with a 1.5 million share float because it can move crazy fast up and down. But anyway, let's say you do that. This is a possible scenario. And you buy the breakout there at 29 above the bull pennant there. So $15,000 divided by 29 a share gives you 517. Let's just call it 500 because I don't really typically buy random numbers like 517. But 500 shares I would buy. So 500 shares, and then you sold it at the high of day, which was because that could be the very first point of resistance would be around that high of day. So that would be 36.21. So let's say you got out at 36. So 500 shares times 36 is 18,000, and you had 15,000 investment, so you made $3,000. So that's actually a realistic. Very realistic trade right there. Use half your buying power and get out at the very conservative spot of just below high of day, because that could be your point of resistance. Or if you did it a little bit differently, if you had your 500 shares, you could very easily have held through this consolidation because it really didn't drop to a point where you were going to be underwater. Had you bought that breakout, you weren't going to be underwater. So you could realistically have held that into the first halt and then ended up selling it right in here, which would be $69, which is absolutely insane also. But let's say you did. You just made $34,500 on your $15,000 of buying power. So that, you can't beat that. That's crazy. I know multiple people who actually made $20 a share on this. I have yet to meet anybody, and you must comment down below if you held this somewhere up above 3 figures, especially if you bought it down here in the singles or double digits, held it all the way to 3 figures. You have to let me know and comment down below, because that's awesome. I have to know. Let's go to back to the patterns. So here's another one. This was the other big stock of the day, XBIO. Not sure what the news was on this, but it traded 183 million shares on the day, so tons of volume, big stock. Day traders were all over it. And what do we see here? We see this is a giant flagpole right here, and then we see we're on the 5-minute chart, by the way. Here's your flagpole, and here is your pennant. And what do we have at the end of the pennant as it consolidates tighter and tighter? Then it breaks out. You take your long right there at $4 and take some profit at high of day. You can get completely out if you wanted to. You're still going to make 50 cents a share conservatively, or you could go ahead and hold for part of this next big candle, this next big jump up, and you would have made $1 a share. So another scenario. Let's look at scenarios again. Very realistic. Let's say you only have a $2,500 account at CMEG. You still have 6 times buying power. So you have buying power of about 15 grand with your $2,500 small account. Let's say you use half your buying power. I would never recommend using all your buying power unless you can afford to lose it and you just don't care about losing that money. Then by all means, it's your money. Do whatever you want. But conservatively, or more conservatively, let's say you use half your buying power. Even that is actually pretty aggressive, and most people would not advise using half your buying power. But if you only have $2,500 account, is it going to be the end of the world if you blow the account up? To me, no, that's not that much money. But let's say you use half your buying power, $7,500, and you buy at $4 for the breakout of the pennant. I'm just trying to give you realistic examples of why this pattern works over and over again. You use $7,500, $4 a share, you got 1,875 shares, and you take profit at just below the high of day to be very conservative. So you'd make 50 cents a share. So you made almost $1,000. That is a very nice profit. If you wanted to go crazy and use all your buying power, or if you wanted to be less conservative and hold it farther up, you could have taken, sold 1,000 shares and then held the other 875 up in here. Or you could have held the whole thing if you wanted to be aggressive. There really was no pullback or anything to scare you out too much. So maybe you want to hold up for $1 a share gain, in which case you're making that 1875 on a small CMEG account. So just trying to give examples and show you that this pattern works over and over again, and it has been the difference between me losing a ton of money and me being profitable, just barely profitable, but still profitable. That is a win for me. If I can stay profitable for the year, that's a win. And then next year, hopefully continue to do this and have my first big time year. Pattern. Here's another example. NEO. This was a couple days ago, because this is today. Didn't see it today because it was a big down day. But this is a stock I've been watching because it's got a lot of volatility. It's moving a lot of days. There's trades to be had in it. But anyway, so let's see here. We got a flag right here. This is a 5-minute chart on NEO. You got a nice big pull right here, flag pull. Then you got, what do you have? Same thing. You got a bull pennant here. You got consolidation that gets tighter and tighter and tighter until it's almost, completely together. And then if you take the long there, then what happens? It jumps up and it gets up to the high of day. So conservatively, you can get out at that high of day. Now, I'm not saying this is going to work every time. You're going to have false breakouts. There's going to be times where it pops up and then it fails and comes back down. But a lot of times this pattern does play out. So you're looking for that on different time frames. Just being patient, looking for a consolidation. And then when it gets all the way to the point where it's nice and tight consolidation, it's going to either go down or up. So we're not going to buy it in here. We're going to wait for it to actually pop out and break out. Then we're going to buy it. And then conservatively, you're looking for high of day to get out. If you want to play it a little bit more aggressively, take partial profit at high of day and then continue to ride the rest of the way up. But that's where patience comes into play. If you don't know what you're doing and you keep losing money over and over again, I would recommend pulling a bunch of money out and trading very small. This is what I did. And then focusing on one pattern, learning that one pattern, learning how to recognize it, and then making that one pattern work for you. Can you become a millionaire with it? Heck yeah, you can. There's tons of people that trade only a few patterns and make millions of dollars. Ross with Warrior Trading, for instance. If you look at Ross with Warrior Trading and watch his videos every day, you will see that he trades the same couple of patterns. He's trading flat top breakouts, high of day breakouts, what he calls the first 1 minute candle or the first 5 minute candle to make a new high, which is basically the bull pennant. He's like, once it starts getting consolidated, then he's looking to buy the first candle that makes a new high. And yeah, he's trading the same few things over and over again, and he did make $4 million this year. So there you go. You can become a millionaire with just a few patterns. You just have to learn to recognize them and get good at it, and then start scaling up once you know what you're doing. Anyway, let's wrap this up. The point is, I know being a little bit corny, being a little crazy here, but I'm just saying, make sure you're looking for the patterns, learn to recognize the patterns, and yes, you can become a millionaire trader. Anybody can do it. You just have to learn technical analysis, learn the charts, learn how it all works, get comfortable with it, put in all your time in the seat until you get comfortable with it. Then you're just looking at being disciplined and finding the setups that work for you. Everybody's got their style, everybody's got their setups that work for them. You got to find that for yourself, and then just work on that one setup. Be disciplined. Don't trade a bunch of junk and stuff because you're bored, and then scale up that pattern. So hopefully this helps. Subscribe if you haven't already. Like, comment, all those wonderful things. Thank you so much for the support. I'll talk to you soon. Peace. If you made it this far, first of all, I just want to say I love you. You must have liked the video, so make sure you give me that thumbs up, subscribe, notifications on, of course, and then click on one of my videos to the side. If the YouTube algorithm is doing its job, there should be one over there. If not, just go to my page and check it out. Thanks for watching. Peace.